Time is 2:01. We will begin the Public Works Committee. My name is Manuel Barker. I'm the chair. We have with us Legislator Husky, and I've asked legislators Smith and Payton to join us. Ordinances and committees, 6071, an ordinance transferring and appropriating $4,164,475 from the undesignated fund balance of the 2026 Park Enterprise Fund and awarding a contract for the replacement of the irrigation system at the Fred Urbanis Golf Course and Frank White Jr. Sports Complex to Verde Sports Construction, LLC of Langley, Washington, under the terms and conditions of invitation to bid 25047 at a cost of the county not to exceed $4,164,475. Mr. Executive.
Mr. Chairman, committee, I think you'd asked before on who was on the bid selection committee. There was only one legitimate bid that came back. The Irrigation Recommendation Committee vetted that bid. The members of that committee were the Fred Urbanis Golf Course General Manager, the Golf Course Ground Superintendent, the Superintendent of Planning and Development, the Deputy Director of Enterprise Operations, and the Deputy Director of Park Operations. And this is something that's been a long time coming in trying to get this done and irrigate the golf course and the base softball field at the same time. It would cost a lot more if we did it separately. They have a plan of where they will close a hole down and do it without interrupting any services to patrons. We'll start later this summer and probably even fall. But it's something we need to get on. So if we rebid it again out, they estimate it could be even another $1 million higher.
Questions, comments, or thoughts?
Any idea why we only got one bid?
Only one bid responded.
Any idea why?
No. I think this is such a specific type of work in the irrigation system. I don't know there's a lot of people out there that do it.
Well, and I was going to inquire about the priority of this project, right? I mean, I think there's a lot of parks opportunities for fixes. How is this one getting priority from an undesignated fund balance, and how is this the most opportune moment to fix it if it's something that we should have been planning for however many years?
I wouldn't say that it came any priority based on the amount of dollars. I think it just came in order as they came. And this is not any other priority than any other projects that come along. What just jumps out at us is the cost. That is in the fund. There is money in there. We're not having to worry about whether we have enough money to do this. But I share your wow, why are we spending $4.1 million when there are other projects we could be doing? This just came along. This actually has happened back in 2025, I think, when that started. So it's been hanging on for a while.
Yeah, I appreciate the bundling to make sure that we maximize the efficiencies here. Appreciate that. I just want to make sure that we have a clear plan as to when things break, we have a strategy to fix it. I think you agree with that. So just to air that grievance one more time, I guess. Actions from committee.
Move to perfect.
It's been a motion to perfect. All right, it's moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? I'll vote in the nay. Legislator Smith, do you have any?
I'll say yes.
Okay. We will advance this out of committee with the recommendation of the committee. 6072, an ordinance transferring $233,100 within the 2026 grant fund and appropriating $233,100 from the undesignated fund balance of the 2026 grant fund and acceptance of the supplemental grant and authorizing the Director of Parks plus Rec to execute an agreement received from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, Division of State Parks, Land, and Water Conservation Fund program for use by the Parks and Rec Department. Mr. Executive.
This is an issue that we have a grant that we need to match, and we've been accepted that. We want to transfer that money within the grant fund and utilize that with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, Division of State Parks, Land, and Water Conservation Fund program.
All right. Any discussion from committee or questions? Any actions? It's been a motion to perfect. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, we will advance this out of committee with the recommendation of the committee. 6073, an ordinance repealing sections 5055, 5056, and 5057 of the Jackson County Code 1984 relating to watercraft horsepower and acting in lieu thereof. 4 new sections relating to the same subject. Mr. Executive.
Mr. Chairman, I believe this issue started from a constituent that contacted you specifically.
Yes.
And myself being a person that has had a boat on county lakes before, we have not changed the horsepower of the pontoon boats or fishing boats for 40 years? About 40 years. And so we are just increasing it, and the Parks Department has reviewed this. We're in line with other lakes, and it just, again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's something like 20 horsepower.
Yeah.
And it's really, really bad. So to bring this up to speed, that's what we're proposing.
Yeah, just for my colleagues, we did have a constituent who has a boat, who I believe was not using some of our lakes because of this policy, and it said that they are taking their boat outside of the county they live in to use the boat because of their horsepower, and so this would allow them to take part in the recreation in their own county. So thank you, Mr. Executive, for moving this forward and advancing it. So looking for a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Mr. Boats, do you have any?
I know a lot about boats, but no, I'm fine with this.
Okay. All those in favor indicate by the sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right. We will advance this out of
Can I,
committee.
just from a comment perspective, so our charter calls for us to have a parks board that would be setting policy at a kind of high level. And we talked just now about why one park and irrigation system got priority, maybe over other possible things we could spend money on. I still believe that having a board, as required by our charter, that hasn't been staffed for a long time when it comes to making decisions. So just boat horsepower probably doesn't seem like a big deal to most people, but it really effectuates how the lake gets enjoyed. Is it someplace where people are racing around in speedboats, or is it someplace that people are doing leisurely cruises? These are very different things. And the question earlier about the fact that we're putting $4 million into an irrigation system when we don't know what other deficiencies there might be in the park system that could equally use a capital improvement. I just encourage everybody to hopefully get to the point where we, A, follow the charter, and B, have more citizen input on things that are as big as this, because I think just having people who are appointed by the county executive make these kinds of decisions with a little bit of oversight from the legislature is not what is intended in our charter or by our governing documents.
Mr. Executive, any?
I share your concerns, Legislator Smith, too. We have one of the most amazing park system in the state of Missouri. It's not just the lakes, it's everything else that we have.
Right.
And to have a parks board that would look at long-term planning, development of lakes, there's an argument to be had whether you should change Lake Jacomo to have the speedboats and the water skiing because it's a bigger lake instead of Blue Springs Lake. I don't think it's a decision the county executive should make. I think
Right.
that's having a parks board.
Citizen involvement, parks board.
Yeah, I understand and I will look into that.
Resolutions in committee, 22227, a resolution declaring certain county-owned vehicles as surplus property and authorizing their disposal pursuant to Chapter 11 of Jackson County Code 1984. Mr. Executive.
This is just taking some vehicles that are surplus as of the code. I'm not sure exactly which ones these came from. I don't have the actual resolution in front of me. We want to dispose of them, and these are ones that we ran. Do you have the actual code of that? It's family court. Thank you. The family court vehicles.
All right. Any questions, comments, or thoughts?
So are they, when you say surplus, what's wrong with them?
Some of them, if you go to the Hilltop facility, they're sitting in the back of them. They have no axles on them.
Okay, I moved to perfect.
All right. You already have one? You have a question? No, okay. There's been a motion to perfect. Is there a second?
Second.
Adoption of the resolution.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right. Resolution 22229, a resolution authorizing a 12-month term and supply contract with two 12-month options to extend for the furnishing of steam HVAC parts for use by the Facilities Management Division of the Public Works Department to Controlled Products, Inc. of Fenton, Missouri as a sole source purchase. Mr. Executive.
I'm asking your support on Resolution 22229 to authorize this contract with Controlled Products. This contract allows Jackson County to purchase specialized steam HVAC parts used in the downtown courthouse and the detention center. The systems are critical. They provide heat and hot water for two of our most essential facilities. These are not off-the-shelf parts. Controlled Products is the local representative for Spence Equipment, which is what our systems are being built on. So having the reliable, timely access to these components is necessary to keep both of our buildings operating safely and efficiently. After working with our purchasing team, Public Works has determined that Controlled Products should be designated as a sole source provider. This ensures we're getting the correct parts from a trusted and authorized supplier without delays that could impact operations. And again, this is an as-needed contract. There's no obligation to spend a set amount. Facilities Management estimates the annual usage at approximately $65,000, but as always, all purchases remain subject to available appropriations. So this request supports the ongoing maintenance, reliability of critical county infrastructure, and it's about making sure our courthouse and detention center continue to operate without interruption for our employees and our residents and public safety.
Questions, comments, or thoughts?
So this is gonna be used where?
At the downtown courthouse and at the detention
The
center,
courthouse, okay.
The current detention center, I'm guessing?
current and future.
Oh, okay. Any other questions, comments, or thoughts? And this is just parts, looks like, right? There's no-
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Executive, for this kind of purchase, how does that work with our procurement processes, right? So is this anything over $5,000 has to still come before us, or is this authorizing any expense beyond, as long as it fits as a part of Public Works, HVAC steam parts?
Well,
How does that work?
We estimate the annual usage would only be under $65,000. So we would not anticipate coming back in front of the legislature on any of these products. It would depend on, what went wrong with the HVAC system. If we came back and it was a part that was a $20,000 part, that's an issue. But most of these parts can be $100, $200, $1,000. So we just don't know until we know what we need if something goes awry.
Well, I just want to make sure that we have, at least on the record, that it's not a, $65,000 purchase of one part, right? And so that it's something that still have a clear understanding of our procurement processes for. All right, any actions, thoughts?
Move to adopt.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, it appears ayes have it. Ayes do indeed have it. Any other business before the Public Works Committee? All right, hearing none, we will now adjourn at 2:14. Thank you so much.